I like the power of words. Hopefully you do too, but sometimes we go through our day and just kind of say things without even thinking about the true power and meaning behind them. The word hope kind of comes to mind right now with my next guest, David McNabb, who is here with the Adult Teen Challenge of the Mid-South. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Julie.
I think that's a fair way to say it and to start off with you, because you do provide hope for an awful lot of people.
That's our tagline. If there's one that we could pick out, it's like we're for those that have the decisions they made and the circumstances they found themselves in life. To be able to have hope is a key aspect to move forward, and so that's what we try to help them do.
Well, I say that about the everyday. I mean, I wish I had a quarter. How many times you'll say, yeah, I hope I can do that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
hope. But until you truly need hope,
Right.
you can't understand the depth of that word.
You can't. And case in point, right now statistics tell us, Julie, that 1 in 10 Americans struggle with some form of addiction. That's a lot of folks. That's a lot of people. And just in the Tennessee Valley, I mean, that would, if those statistics are true, that means about 42,000 of our friends and neighbors are struggling with some form of addiction. And in many cases, it kind of manifests itself in not having hope due to circumstances of life or whatever that may be. And the big thing is, what do you do to try to find help from it?
Well, right, and that we kind of seem to have this theme going on a little bit with some of my guests today,
Right,
about
yes.
what is the root cause of
Yes,
something.
yes.
And maybe for each person that root cause is different.
It
but
is.
an awful lot of times, David, isn't it because you just don't feel connected?
There is that, and you know, and we've talked about, you know, we're an adult ministry, ages 18 to 50, but we've had folks that have said, you know, that they took their first drink. They can remember. I remember just a few weeks ago we had someone on our campus that made the comment. I can remember having my first drink when I was 4 years old.
What?
4 years old. And a part of that has to do with the environment that you grow up in. We have folks, guys and girls on our campus that have they've had childhood trauma. Now, for some, that was just life. That was just home. But some have endured childhood trauma. Others, in adolescent years, had issues that have stayed with them for the rest of their lives. Very seldom do we have a man or woman that just at the age of 20, 21 says, you know, I'm just going to just drink my life away.
Right.
That doesn't happen very often.
Well, and we also tend to live in a world where even now people will compare, right? And you'll think, well, this person had this happen to him or her, and this person seems worse, and yet they're okay.
Right.
It doesn't work that way.
It doesn't, and that is a key reason why so many do not attempt to try to get some kind of help.
Really?
Because there's the comparison. Now we are living in the most medicated society ever that's been in our country, and there is literally a medication for everything. And some are warranted, but in our case, in so many cases, we find that some medications that at one time were prescribed and necessary have been abused because of the circumstances in life. And so, how do you get help for that? And so in many cases, somebody will seek a treatment from a traditional treatment center. In many cases, those results are up to 80% relapse. In fact, some treatment centers, in their effort to try to save lives, will even provide classes to help you overdose safely. Now,
wait, will you say that one more time?
I was afraid you were going to say that. Yes, I will. In some situations, because we become so accustomed to the overdose scenario. We have one young lady on our campus just last week told me that before she came into our program, she overdosed up to 60 times the year before.
So
I didn't even know it was possible.
So you're saying that there are programs out there that are kind of going with the idea that you're going to do it. We may as well teach you how to do it safely.
That's correct. Like in our society now, in some states, you know, they're talking about these safe shooting zones, to where you can go and you can be like watched over by someone that will actually help you.
I have not heard of that either.
Oh, it's the saddest thing. But I understand it. I get it, because overdose has become so prevalent with the introduction of fentanyl and all the stuff that's going on. Overdose has become so prevalent, is that we're just trying to make sure that if it's going to happen, so how can we do it and provide and try to attempt to save their lives? I get the premise, but it doesn't make sense.
You and I always talk a long time, and I have 2 minutes left. So let me ask you something to get to the point of what you do.
Yes.
I have a very good friend in town.
Yes.
Our kids are about the same age. We were talking mom to mom recently, and she said, you know, the thing is, as much as you're wanting to step in and fix it,
Right.
you can't feel for your child.
Oh my.
You have to let her feel it.
Right.
In order for her to own it and find her way out.
Right.
Is that kind of what this is for you and what y'all do at Teen Challenge, that they have to feel handle it?
We do. The idea, they come into us, from various kinds of external circumstances. It could be the weather, it could be the judge, it could be whatever the circumstances may be. But when they come through our program for 12 months, they have up to an 86% chance of living the rest of their lives sober and substance free. Our relapse rate are currently 1/6 the rate of the national average. So our guys and girls who finish our 12 months are 4 times more likely to live sober and substance free for the rest of their lives. And it's through an introduction to a new way of living, a new way of processing, but it's an introduction to Jesus Christ. That's the basis of everything that we do.
And they have to do it.
They have to do it.
So with the 30 seconds I have left,
Yes.
if people are watching and
Yes.
they want to make a call on their own, fine. But if
Yes.
you're the family member or friend of somebody,
Yes.
can they at least call and get some information from you?
Julian, you talk about hope. One of the most hopeless people I've ever met is not the addict, but it's the person that loves them.
Correct.
And so our phone is available for anybody that's looking for hope.
Then here's the number,
Yes.
756-5558. You can also go online, tcmidsouth.org. David, thank you always.
You.